Hey everybody, welcome to Dad's Den of Pop Culture. A little bit of a toy review today from Boss Fight Studios, the Power Stars Popeye figure. I pre-ordered this long enough ago that I forgot that I pre-ordered it when they finally told me it was on its way. I am a big Popeye fan. He was one of my favorite characters when I was a kid. Mostly from the cartoons, of course. I'm not sure if I ever lived in a place or even visited a place that had the Popeye strip in the newspaper, but I might have when we go on vacation different places. But always a big fan of the Popeye cartoon. I wanted to have a Popeye on my shelf. And one of the things I liked about this particular figure is that it was a pretty good price point. Wasn't too expensive. So let's take a look at the card, the packaging, and then we'll take them out of the packaging and get a better look at the figure. So, Popeye logo, says it up there too. We get a nice little drawing of him. It's kind of reminiscent of the comic strip, but maybe not the really old ones from Seeger, I know, but he used a little cigar as his signature once upon a time. But overall, nice packaging. It's simple. It's nothing fancy. Get in a little closer. You can take a look at it. Look at the back here, and on the back, we got a little something about Popeye. What does it say here? Well, yeah, nice tiny letters for an old man. Popeye the Sailor meets Sindbad the Sailor is a 1936 Fleischer Studios cartoon. It's also one of the best cartoons ever made. It was the first Popeye cartoon in Technicolor and an extra long feature, featuring stunning animation, three-dimensional background sets, wild monster designs, and the muttered improvisations of Popeye voice actor Jack Mercer, etc., etc. I'm glad they bring up Mercer, and I'm glad they give a little history to it there. So we're obviously basing this on, in particular, on the Sindbad, the Sailor cartoon, and so we also have Wimpy, Olive, and Bluto. Now, when they redid the Popeye cartoon years later, I shouldn't say redid, but did some other ones, they changed his name, I guess because they didn't have the rights, to Bluto, who was specifically kind of for the Fleischer and then I think later Famous Studios cartoons. So they went back to the name of a similar character in the comic strips called Brutus. And I can remember arguing with my dad about that. He was calling him Brutus, and I'm going, he's not Brutus, it's Bluto. No, it's Brutus. It's Brutus. No, it's not Brutus. Well, it turns out we were both right. Except the Bluto cartoons are better, so I'm going to say I was right. Anyways, good packaging. Overall, it's nothing fancy, but I like it. It looks nice. I think, back in the day, this would have attracted attention if it was, on the rack in a toy store, in a grocery store. So let's open her up and see what we got. All right, so I've given it a nice little cut here. Work. Let's take this out. It's funny how we've gone full circle over time, where these were always super easy to get into when Gen X, I should say, were kids. And then with all the theft, all the toys were high security vaults trying to get into them. And now that they're for adult collectors again, and they're not generally in toy stores, it's back to being easy. So here we see the figure in his little carbonite prison. Now let's see if we can get him out of here. This is the difficult. Well, let's maybe get the spinach out first. Get that going first. Sometimes getting them out of these things is a real chore. That wasn't too bad. So let's set the carbonite over to the side. Let's get a nice look at our hero. Get him facing forward. Well, blow me down. All right. Very nice. And the first thing I noticed detail-wise is the little kneecap. And you see the little, it almost looks like a knee nipple. So he has his knee nipples, and he has the little elbow bits right there. Very nice. Good paint job. I like it. I like the material. Let's see if we can get him in real close for the paint job on the face. And I think they do a good job. Gets a little blurry, I know. I think they do a good job on that. On that look, you get your traditional Popeye, with, of course, importantly, the Popeye. Let's see. Movement-wise, now he does not bend at the elbows, which is probably a good idea. So just the shoulder, it doesn't go out. It just rotates back and forth. Now you notice one hand looks like he can hold his spinach. Now, I'm not positive, though, if he could hold his spinach, because frankly, the spinach, if you see, so I think it would come down to how bendable the fingers are. I'm not positive if I want to make that move. Now, in terms of the legs, you do have a bendable knee, and it bends at the waist. All right, now, one thing I wondered, though, because you notice the one position, the legs also rotate. All right. So I was like, do the feet move at all? Because it looked like the feet were at different angles, at kind of odd angles, but apparently that is okay because those move. So, yeah, we could put them in various poses. I don't know. I guess if I had been smarter, I would have looked for a particular pose in the comic or the cartoon and tried to get him in that pose. So there he is, walking along. All right, it's a nice figure. They did a good job on this thing. It's not massively jointed or anything like that. You're not going to be able to put it into any conceivable position. But for my purposes, which is primarily just to get it up on the shelf with some other figures, it will do just fine. And I guess the only thing is, can I get this spinach to go in the hand at some point? I think if I was going to try to do that, I would want to maybe heat the hand up a little bit, just like with a hairdryer for just a minute, make it a little more pliable. But I have a feeling once I did that, that Popeye is going to be that spinach is going to be in Popeye's hand forever. And I do notice on the back, he is not holding that spinach. Although Wimpy's holding a hamburger. And Bluto, he's got a knife. Okay, so what do we think here? Let me get a little bit more light, if I can. Boy, I'm telling you what, the lighting is very weird tonight. Oh, you know what probably happened? That stupid camera will do an update without me knowing it. And then it'll set itself back on to doing all this automatic crap that I don't want it to do. So, since I can't mess with that without having to completely redo the video, we're just going to go ahead and stick with what we got. But I think the lighting is sufficient to get a good idea of the Boss Fight Studios Power Stars Popeye. It's a nice figure. It's worth it. It's worth the money that I paid for it, in my opinion. So I'm going to pop them up on the shelf with a few other great superheroes. Get this thing to focus a little better. There we go. Get them up there with a few other superheroes like Iron Man and Spidey and I don't know, the Ultraman characters figures and what else have I got up on that shelf. So there you go, folks. Let me know in the comments what you think of this figure. Do you have any of these? Are you collecting all of them? Let me know what you think. The quality looks good. Again, it's, you know, these are collectibles. So like, would the quality on this, would they hold up to play by a bunch of kids? You see that? So the legs are a little, they seem a little off almost. I guess you have to, well, maybe not. If I look at it from the side, I guess they look like they're pretty even there. But from some angles, I guess maybe it's because of the way it happens to be turned, it looks off. Anyways, but let me know in the comments if you're collecting any of these, what you think of them. The quality looks pretty good to me for for something to put on your shelf. You throw this to your 8-year-old, it'll probably be broken in about 5 seconds, especially that little pipe. If these were collectibles from the 1970s or 80s, people would be paying massive amounts of money to get one that still had the pipe attached to that face. That would be the tough part. But let me know what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please like, think about subscribing, sharing with a friend. That would help me out. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, God bless everybody. Please be kind to one another. Have a little bit of fun out there. And I'll hopefully see you again soon in Dad's Den of Pop Culture. Bye-bye, guys. Toot, toot.